voices in my head, they count to me, they understand, they talk to me.
What's up, guys? It's Matt back here at RKO-VER Entertainment. Monday Night Raw review tonight. Last night, pretty good pay-per-view. I would say not great, but it was good. It was good pay-per-view last night. So we'll see what happens tonight on Raw from the Fallout. I'll let you guys know. Alright, guys, so Raw started off with Stephanie McMahon coming out. She goes to say, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw." She didn't get through it. Shane's music hit. He comes out. She gives him a gift, which ends up being the picture of young Shane McMahon with Vince McMahon that a couple months ago Vince McMahon stepped on during Raw and smashed the picture. So it looks like they're getting along, you know. Then interrupted by Kevin Owens, who says, "You guys are out here arguing about who makes the decisions for tonight. Well, one of your decisions should be to make an Intercontinental Championship match, because I'm owed one." Cesaro's music hits. He comes out, says, "Well, if it wasn't for you, I'd be champion right now." And so Shane McMahon makes the match. Coming up next, Kevin Owens versus Cesaro to see who is the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. We'll see what happens. Alright, the match ends with a disqualification. Cesaro wins. The Miz and Maurice were on commentary. Kevin Owens grabs The Miz's title. He goes to hit Cesaro with it. The Miz gets all upset. "Why are you touching my title?" Then he grabs the title from Owens. Owens gets distracted. He gets knocked down. But he gets back in the ring. And then there's an altercation between Cesaro and The Miz, which Cesaro ends up giving him the big uppercut, knocks his glasses off, knocks him on the ground. But then The Miz got involved in the match, which was the disqualification. Cesaro wins. I don't know if he wins the #1 contendership, but after the match, Kevin Owens and The Miz were attacking Cesaro. Sami Zayn comes out, clears the ring of everybody, hits Kevin Owens' Helluva Kick, goes for the Helluva Kick on The Miz, and Maurice pulls him out. So then he grabs the Intercontinental title, and he's holding it, and the crowd is chanting, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." And then he looks right at The Miz, and he's holding the title. So maybe Zayn is in the title picture now. We'll see. Alright, guys, next we got Goldust with Fandango versus Tyler Breeze with R-Truth. There's a funny segment in the back where it shows Tyler Breeze with his selfie stick, and then it pans over, and R-Truth has got an iPhone duct taped to the end of a branch. That's his selfie stick. Pretty hilarious stuff. So a match came out of that. Tyler Breeze challenged Goldust. So we'll see what happens next. Also tonight, looks like we're going to get AJ Styles and the Bullet Club or Balor Club, whatever they're called. Luke Gallows and Anderson. I don't even think they really given him a name yet. So we got Gallows and Anderson and AJ versus Reigns and the Usos. So that should be good. That's probably going to be the main event. So we'll see what happens. Alright, Tyler Breeze gets the roll up on a distracted Goldust. The reason he's distracted is because Fandango and R-Truth are having a dance-off on the outside to gain his attention. It's so hilarious. Like, this whole thing, this has been months and months and months of building with them not tagging. But at, like, oh my goodness, now they're up to the point where they're both getting new tag team partners just to make the other one jealous. It's hilarious. Anyways, we'll see what happens next. Alright guys, New Day are on their way to the ring, and they're gonna discuss what happened last night with the number one contendership. I don't think we have a number one contender unless they name one tonight. I haven't really been online all day, so I haven't heard anything new about Enzo. But you could tell when he was going out of the ring, if you watched it, he was knocked out. Like, that was bad. Like, you knew it right away that it was bad. They stopped the match and everything. Like, so hopefully Cass is all right. Not Cass, Enzo. And hopefully Enzo's all right. That was a crazy concussion moment. And hopefully that doesn't derail them. I think they were on their way to winning that match. Even though it was early in the match, I think they would have won that match. But anyway, their first like big opportunity in WWE, and Cass got hurt like that. Enzo got hurt like that. Jesus. So we'll see what happens next, guys. Alright guys, just did a little bit of research. Enzo has a severe concussion. They pulled him from all events, up until May 20th. So that's at least a few weeks. But who knows, it could be more, it could be more, you know, like, so he's definitely not going to be there until the 20th. Extreme Rules is 2 days after that. So I doubt we're going to see them at Extreme Rules too, you know what I'm saying? Unless, you know, even if they do get back, they're not going to have any time to start a rivalry or a match or anything. So, I think the Vaudevillains will probably get the shot. And, who knows if that was the original plan or not, but if it wasn't, they got some scrambling to do to, write a storyline for them. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so they just announced it that the New Day will face the Vaudevillains at Extreme Rules for the titles. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so the New Day are out there, and the Vaudevillains come out to interrupt them, said a couple very rude things, like a real man would have gotten back up, talking about Enzo Amore's injury, and Simon Gotch said they made him Bada Boom, the realest guy in the emergency room. How are you doing? Then the Dudley Boys are on their way out now, so we'll see what they got to say. Alright, the Dudley Boys come out. They say, well, who are you guys? You didn't even beat nobody last night. The ref had to stop the match. As far as we're concerned, the whole tournament should be restarted. Then Enzo and Cass music hits. Big Cass comes out by himself, hits the mic work on point. On point, no mess ups. Cut a good promo, told the Dudley Boys and Enzo Amore, told the Dudley Boys and the Vaudevillains that they were S-A-W-F-T, soft. Then he gets in the ring, goes right after the Vaudevillains, and then the Dudley Boys attack the New Day. Then we went to commercials, so maybe there's a match coming out of this. We'll see what happens. Alright guys, so the match that came out was the New Day and Big Cass versus the Dudley Boys and the Vaudevillains. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, pretty good match for an 8-man. I know a lot of 8-man tags, stuff can get lost in there and it discombobulated a lot, but this was a very good match. Ending was Big Cass getting the pin on Devon Dudley after hitting the East River Crossing. It's kind of like a spinning side effect from Matt Hardy's Side Effect. It's like that, but he starts in a slam position, crossbody slam position. Then he swings him. Awesome match. We'll see what happens next. Alright guys, coming up next we got Becky Lynch versus Emma. Haven't seen much of Becky Lynch ever since WrestleMania when she got that huge black eye. I think the last time I can remember seeing her was the night after in the ring when they were giving Charlotte the title. But this should be a good match if they get time, so let's see what happens. Wow, Emma gets the win. Referee was trying to get in the middle of them when they were on the ropes, and Emma poked her in the bad eye and then hit her with a Taka driver, like a Michinoku driver. Pretty good. I don't know what that means for Becky Lynch. Maybe she's still hurt a little bit or something, but I would think after the match that both of the Sasha, her, and Charlotte had at WrestleMania, that Charlotte and Becky would be on top of the women's division at the moment, but you never know what can happen. We'll see. Coming up next, the Ambrose Asylum with Stephanie McMahon. She said he could ask any questions he wants, so we'll see what crazy Dean Ambrose comes up with. Alright guys, so Stephanie McMahon was the guest in the Ambrose Asylum, and Ambrose got under her skin a little bit, you know, because she's trying to play this whole I'm a changed person and I'm a happy Stephanie McMahon. He didn't buy it. He was saying, you know, it's got to burn you on the inside that, you know, for 7 years you're the one that made the sacrifices of your time with your family and flying all over the country in the board meetings, and then Shane McMahon comes back and he gets the same power as you, and you started to see it in her face. She was getting real mad. She goes, well, my brother Shane McMahon had a good idea with his Ambrose Asylum, but now I'm going to cancel it. So she cancels Ambrose Asylum. Then she says, well, I'm not going to leave Raw with the hole. She said, now returning the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. Jericho comes out. Ambrose attacks him. They fight for a little bit. Jericho gets a little cut on his nose. Not a big cut, he's just bleeding a tiny bit. He gives Dean Ambrose the code breaker. And that's where we're at right now. He rips the Ambrose Asylum sign down, throws it at Ambrose. So we got the highlight reel back. We'll see what happens next. Alright, after that, Jericho, he grabs Mitch. And if you don't know what Mitch is or who Mitch is the potted plant that Ambrose has on the set of the former Ambrose Asylum. So he grabs the plant, smashes it on the back of Dean Ambrose's head, and stands there triumphantly. So I guess the Ambrose-Jericho feud is not over. So I guess we'll get some kind of match at Extreme Rules between them two. We'll see what happens. Alright, we got a 20-man battle royal to see who is the new #1 contender for the United States Championship. I'm going for Baron Corbin or Apollo Crews. Oh, Titus O'Neil's back. Nice. He did. A lot of people are in the ring, but the first music that hit was Titus O'Neil. Now Sheamus, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so we went to commercial in the middle of that 20-man battle royal. Both of my picks have already been eliminated. Shows you how much I know. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Match came down to the last two. Zack Ryder and Rusev. Zack Ryder had the upper hand. He hit the broski boot and everything. He's going to throw Rusev over the top rope. Rusev reverses, throws him over the top rope. Then Lana comes out to join Rusev. So, #1 contender for the United States title is think this might be a prelude to, you know, like him winning and then Cena coming back on Memorial Day. He's coming back on Memorial Day, so maybe he gets the U.S. Championship back from Rusev on Memorial Day. I don't know. Maybe I should be a writer. We'll see what happens next, guys. Alright, so we got Charlotte and Ric Flair coming out to address the controversy from last night. It's like a repeat of the Montreal Screwjob. I guess. But, Charlotte had Natalya in the sharpshooter. Natalya never tapped out. Referee Charles Robinson calls for the bell. Charles Robinson, they just showed some stuff from WCW where he was Little Nature Boy, where he actually wrestled a couple matches as Little Nature Boy, came out with a robe that said Little Nature Boy on the back. So I guess that's adding to this controversy. Like, that's why, you know, he's always been a Flair fan and all that. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, so they bring out Charles Robinson. He confirms, he says she was yelling, "Stop it, stop it, stop it," which he took as stop the match, so he stopped the match. And his decision is final as referee, blah, blah, blah. Natalya comes out, cuts a little promo, Hart family, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Charlotte tries to attack Natalya. She gets the upper hand, throws Charlotte out of the ring, smacks Ric Flair after he takes off his jacket, his Rolex, and he's doing his Ric Flair thing. Walks up to her, she smacks him, double legs him, puts him in the sharpshooter. Charlotte grabs him from the outside and saves him from the sharpshooter. And Natalya stands tall at the end. So, pretty good segment. I'm hoping that we don't see another Natalya-Charlotte match, though. I mean, where is Sasha after the match? I mean, after the match at WrestleMania, I just don't understand why Sasha's not at least in the mix. Anyway, we'll see what happens next, guys. It is the main event. AJ, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson versus Reigns and the Usos. We'll see what happens. Alright, guys. AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson get the win. After the match, Gallows and Anderson, they grab Reigns and they're holding him. They give AJ the chair. They want AJ to hit Reigns with the chair. He doesn't. He throws the chair down, and then he gets Gallows and Anderson just start beating up Reigns themselves, and then he gets hit with a chair from behind by the Usos. So then he flips out. He gets a chair and he hits both of the Usos. So then Reigns gets up, and all he sees is AJ hitting the Usos with chair. So he's pissed, and I guess he didn't realize that AJ had threw down the chair when he had the opportunity to hit him. But all this is definitely leading to AJ heel turn, I believe. But now Reigns has took both of the monitors off of the announce table, and he is grabbing Reigns' powerbomb position. No, he's grabbing Styles. Reigns got Styles' powerbomb position. Boom! Through the table. Wow. So Raw ends with Roman Reigns standing tall over AJ Styles after powerbombing him through the announce table. Pretty good Raw tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.